Good morning, sunshine. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day, and I would like to invite you for some coffee. Will you have coffee with me today? I think yes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Todd here on this April 25th. This is the last show of April? Isn't that crazy? The last show of April. And then we're into May. So has spring sprung? Is spring gonna sprung? Sprung. Has spring sprunged? Oh, don't mind me. I'm just an idiot. You know the drill. If you're a frequent flyer here to Coffee with Todd, you know I can kind of be an idiot. Anyway, good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Man, do we have such a good show for you this morning. I am so excited. On the show today, Livingston Taylor. What? Yeah. Livingston Taylor. I'm so excited to bring Liv on the show. He's been kind enough to have me open up a bunch of shows for him over the past couple of years, and hopefully once this COVID stuff's behind us, I can get back out on the road with him. But to have him join us for this little coffee hour, I'm just so excited. I can't wait for you guys to meet him. If you're not familiar with Liv, you're going to love him. He's a professor at the Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts. He's a singer-songwriter. He is the younger brother of James Taylor as well. I'm sure we'll talk about all that stuff coming up in a little bit. But right now, I think we should get the show started. Good morning, Mark. What's going on, buddy? David, good morning. Here's the part, David, that you enjoy, where I spill coffee on myself. I'm going to try not to, but let's see how we did securing the lid this morning. Okay. Oh, no, I see a little bit of leakage going on here, but I'm doing my best to contain it. Oh, no, it's dripping. It's dripping. Yeah, there we go. It dripped. Dripped all over my leg. Thankfully, Danielle always gets me these nice paper towels to clean up after myself. Oh God. Just gonna wipe my leg off down here. Looks like we didn't get any on the carpet. Well, it's officially Sunday morning. Todd has spilled coffee on himself, so all is right with the universe. Hey, let's get this show started, shall we? Hey, Dad. Morning, Lindy. All right. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. Try your best not to spill it on yourself. I will be your Todd. Coffee with Todd starts right now. right. There we go. Coffee with Todd is officially rolling. Ah, isn't that first cup of coffee just the best? I know. And I hear some sirens going on in the background. That's not good. Hope everything's all right. I was on the interstate the other day, and I have my hat's off. I'm not wearing a hat, so obviously my hat is off. To the sign writer, it said, "Are you buckled up?" or "buckled up?" question mark or whatever, and then it said, "What's holding you back?" I know, it's stupid, but I loved it. Isn't that great? Good morning, Patty. Good morning, John. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Oh, man. Such an exciting show for you this morning. I'm going to just try to just plow right into it because, man, it's just such a cool show. On the show this morning, Livingston Taylor is going to be joining us virtually via, I'm assuming, his home in Martha's Vineyard. But, who knows? It could be his place in Boston as well. But we're going to be talking with Livingston Taylor. He's going to be singing us some songs. Man, I'll tell you, I've learned so much from this guy about performing and just life in general. So I can't wait to have him on the show and introduce everybody to him. It's going to be so great. I'm going to sing a song first, though. Hope you all had a great week. The weather's getting nicer, which is certainly cool. We've been out doing a little bit of yard work and stuff like that. Got some flowers blooming on the front yard, which is kind of cool. I still got to pick up a little bit of debris out there. Sometimes here in Vermont you get these glimpses of days where it's nice and warm and sunny, and then it feels like spring, and you start doing some yard work and picking up sticks from the casualties from the trees that fall on the lawn, and then the next day it snows. It gets real cold, and then you kind of forget. But I'll tell you what, the yard is starting to get to the point where I might need to mow it soon, and I'm not ready for that yet. But the backyard is nice and green. It's very cool. Coffee. Coffee, the nectar of Todd. I'm going to do a song for my mother. So this Thursday would have been my mother's 68th birthday. There she is right there. That's from Christmas many moons ago. Oh, hey, look, there's my grandmother in the background. And my cousin Megan, it looks like, as well. Oh, wow. I love this picture of my mom. This picture of my mother was her favorite picture. And sadly, Mom passed away. It's going to be 6 years in June ago. And I wrote this song about her. It's called Hideaway from the Sun. This is the cover of the album. And you can see my mom in my sunglasses on the art there. Isn't that cool? Here, actually, let me show you the actual album. Come here, album. Come here, actual album. The song is called Hideaway from the Sun. I wrote it about my mom, and there she is. And actually, you can see that picture right there is this picture. Look at this. All right. So anyway, I wrote this song about my mom shortly after she passed away. And since her 68th birthday would have been this Thursday, I'm going to sing a song for you, Mom. It's called Hide Away from the Sun. Eskimo kisses and a faded smile. It's my last memory to hold on to for a while. You said so much without saying a word, without saying a word, and you were gone for good. Strength is desire. You had it in spades and you faced every detour and didn't complain. Persistence, gratitude, God's love and name. Forever within, forever the same. And I'll hide away. Yes, I'll hide away. I'll hide away from the sun. Sun today. Only denial when I got the call that it was the beginning of the end. Though I tried to stand tall, it was all I could do to not break down when I saw you swimming in that hospital gown. You said don't worry, they'll find a cure, but I can see in your eyes this time you're not so sure. Just hold your hand and never let go. I will never let go until you say so. And I'll hide away. Yes, I'll hide away. I'll hide away from the sun. I'll hide away. I'll hide away. I'll hide away from the sun today. Eskimo kisses look straight in your eyes, just like you did when I was a child. And all my fears were all in place. I knew the sun would be shining when they took you away. I knew the sun would be shining when they took you away. And so I'll hide away. I'll hide away. I'll hide away from the sun. I'll hide away. Yes, I'll hide away. I'll hide away from the sun today. Yeah. Whew, that's it. You know, I haven't played that song for a real long time because I haven't been out on the road at all playing shows, and I always play that song at every show that I do. But I haven't played it much here on Coffee with Todd, and man, whoa, whew, okay. Anyway, happy birthday, Mom. I love you and I miss you. And here she is with us on Coffee with Todd in my sunglasses. Yeah. Okay. Hey, if you want to buy this CD, there's some links in the description up above and below, and every little bit helps keep this show rolling. Little viable endeavor for me. You also, there they are. PayPal, Venmo, you can help chip in as well. Helps me keeps the lights on. It helps me buy coffee for me to spill on myself. Speaking of coffee, let's refresh that up a little bit before we get our guest on. And we're gonna couple more driblets coming out. Good God, y'all. Oh crap. Oh, get it. Get it. It's a really professional show, ain't it? Hey, real quick, you also, by the way, to support the show, can buy one of these Coffee with Todd coffee mugs. All the links are in the descriptions. I appreciate all the support. If you can't chip in to PayPal or Venmo or whatever to help out the show, that's fine. I'm doing the show every Sunday. Just share it. Tell a friend about it. All of that helps as well. You know, the more the merrier here on Coffee with Todd. Prolix Music, real quick before we get to Livingston Taylor. Prolix Music is a company that I've hooked up with who makes humidifiers for guitars. And the cool thing about it is up until now, humidifying your guitar was always a nightmare. You'd have to put water in a sponge and put it in your case or buy a humidifier for your room and just run it constantly in the wintertime, all this stuff. And Prolix makes this great little humidifier that you take out of here, you fill it with water, it soaks it up, and it doesn't leak, but it lets the vapors get inside your guitar. And you just put it in the case or put it in the guitar itself. Mine's in my case, filled up with water right now, so I'm not going to go grab it and show you what it looks like. But anyway, we've been giving these away to Coffee with Todd viewers that play, and all you have to do is send in a picture of yourself holding your guitar, acoustic or electric. These are most beneficial to acoustic guitars, but certainly electric guitars are made from wood too and are prone to the same swelling and drying and cracking and over and under humidifying problems. So anyway, our winner this week is Danielle Paquin. Congratulations, Danielle. I'm going to send you this very humidifier. This very one. This is the one, right? I'm going to toss it over here so I don't forget. Yep. Got it? Okay. And if you would like a chance to win one for next week's show, just shoot me a message. You can send me a picture here on Facebook and Messenger if you want, or right here. What the hell's going on? Show's going off the rails, folks. Info at coffeewithtodd.com. All right. Seriously, though, these things are amazing. They've saved my life. They're so cool. Thank you, Prolix. Okay. Without further ado, I'm so excited to bring our guest on the show this morning. He needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, Livingston Taylor. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Todd Pronto, my friend.
Look.
Yes, this is a Livingston Taylor mug from the Livingston Taylor Show, obviously in reverse on this particular screen.
Yeah.
Good.
I've got a Coffee with Todd coffee mug.
Yeah, yours is a very good one. That's nice. Now, how is it that I'm backwards? I see I could have come on flipped, but yes.
Yeah. I see you the right way though, so we're good.
Okay, well, that's good because I see myself mirrored. But enough of this. What's going on, Todd? Fill me in. Fill me in.
Oh, I'm so
Are you
I'm
in
so
northern?
I'm
You're
so
up in.
happy to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and you're way up north right now, I'm assuming.
Oh yes. Yeah, yeah. The
Ex-
Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, almost on the border of Canada. We haven't seen spring yet.
no, no, it comes slow. I'm down here on Martha's Vineyard. It comes slow to the vineyard, and slower up there. It's true.
Yes. How's the weather on the vineyard?
Well, the weather is fine. The weather is typical spring weather. We're a cold ocean. We're surrounded by a cold ocean, and the water temperature is 45, 46 degrees. So it never gets terribly warm in the spring on Martha's Vineyard. It can be very frustrating as it is deliciously warm inland, and even for you if the wind is right, but rarely for us.
Yeah. So how have you been doing during all this COVID stuff?
Well, COVID has been interesting. Like all of us, we've been making it up, and as we go along, in general, it's been same as for everybody. In general, it has been a negative experience with surprising blessings bursting through. Yeah, surprising pockets of sugar in terms of being out of the routine that we always assumed for life, and really discovering how resilient we all are and how we can invent and make up new things. And it's been that resilience has been wonderful to see. That notwithstanding, I'm delighted to be vaccinated and to be moving out of it. Are you vaccinated yet?
I've had both shots, but I won't be fully vaccinated for another 8 days, I think it is.
8 days.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah, that's certainly CDC guideline, but the evidence seems that you are well protected
Yeah.
at the end of that first shot, and then you are launched into the stratosphere of protection by the second. So good for you.
I hope
Congratulations.
so. I hope so. um, you've been doing this like your whole life, basically. Is this the most that you've ever spent in one place, like
Uh,
not
this
on the
is
road?
This is far and away the greatest lengths of time I've ever spent away from performing since 16. I've been at this since 16, Todd. So it's really yeah, it is something to have been away from it for so long.
Yeah. Well, I know how much your audience means to you. I mean, that's one of the things that you always tell the audience is that, boy, I've missed you. And
Boy, I've missed you, and I'm glad to see you.
yeah. But you have been doing the Livingston Taylor show.
Yes, the Livingston Taylor show. You never know where it's going to go. Um, uh, yeah, it's that's been fun. Want to hear the theme song?
I love the theme song. I would love to hear it.
All right, let's see. With one wave of that mighty hand, the stormy seas were parted. This is gonna be so easy. Let's get started. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know when it's gonna go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. Is he sinking in a boat? Is he crashing in a plane? Does he even understand that the devil loves the rain? Is he casually eccentric or actually insane? What stork got that brain. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. We're gonna turn on that tap and let it flow. Oh, it's the Livingston Taylor Show.
I love it.
All right.
You've the lyrics have evolved over the shows too.
Yes, it has a second verse. Is he grooving? Is he gliding down the street? Is he set to bust a move? When the speakers out on Broadway blow a monumental groove, the crowd is getting restless, and certainly it behooves Livy to keep it straight and smooth on the Livingston Taylor Show. Yeah, yes, it's called Too Much COVID Time, perhaps.
Have like doing live stream shows on the internet, is that something that you did prior to COVID, or is this?
I've done a lot of it. I've done a lot of Zoom. I can't, and I'm glad to do it, but I cannot wait for it to open up again. I cannot wait for all of us to be back within crowds, because I believe that you need to be in and amongst crowds of relative strangers to recenter yourself. Too much of our own selves, of our own pods, is not good. You need to go to that concert, to that ball game, to be in amongst thousands of other people at a fair, because it just teaches you where the center is one more time. And without that, you can get off on some bat-ass crazy tangents. So no, let's get crowds together again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't. I know you did some shows over the summer, some like drive-in shows.
Yes.
Which I'm sure that must be a different experience playing
Well,
to cars.
again, it is, but it's the same problem. It's small, socially distanced shows are just small pods of people who are used to being with themselves. And it's remarkable in a concert hall to do these pods of people, and they're not interacting with one another. What they're doing is they're living their same life. So this one will be talkative. This one will sit quietly. This one will fidget around. And it's very bizarre to see that you don't have an agreed on norm of behavior as you normally do in a big crowd. So no, people get together in crowds for a reason, and that's that it teaches them once again what the center is and what equilibrium is.
Yeah, and you're all experiencing the same thing at the same time. It's a moment that will never be replicated exactly the same again.
Yes, and where you may want to yell something, or somebody else wants, you don't do it because there are norms of expected behavior, and if you get too far out of them, things don't go smoothly.
Well, the last live concert I saw, you might have heard of him. His name was Livingston Taylor.
Oh, funny. That's good. That's right. You and I did a couple of shows right in there, Todd. And yep. And then they snatched it away from us for a year and a half. But we'll drift back. We'll find the space again.
Yeah, I can't wait. I do want to hear you sing some of your songs, but can we chat a little bit about music?
Sure, of course.
I know that this is a question that I've always wanted to ask you, and I never have. I I come from a family of business people.
Yes.
My mother owned a hair salon. My father was an insurance salesman. My brother's a realtor. My other brother's an insurance salesman. I'm the only artist really in the family, and I know that your family is obviously a very musical family, but your father was also a doctor, correct?
Yes, my father was a an MD. He went to Harvard Medical School. He trained as an internist and spent his career mainly in administrative medicine.
Okay.
He was dean of the medical school at the University of North Carolina.
But none of you really got into that work. Was there an expectation that you were going to do that, or was that
No,
never a thought?
I don't think so. Neither of my parents were particularly. Uh, my mother, in particular, was her father was a boat builder. He had a fish market. He sold boats. He did lots of different things, and so what we really are is a project-oriented family. We happen to do it with music, but we write songs, then we record the songs, then we put them out on an album, then we go and sell the album. I mean, it's very much a project oriented, um, uh, a, a self directed, project oriented life. And I do that in lots of other things as well. You know, redo a house or yeah, I take on projects and it's nice.
Yeah. You keep yourself busy, in other words.
Well, yeah, I left to my own devices, I get curious. It's true.
Well, that's interesting. Because you're all of your siblings are musicians, are they not?
Well, James and my sister Kate and I that tend to make a living at it. Our oldest brother Alex, now passed, but he was a musician as well, and our younger brother Hugh, although he can play and sing, mainly sing, he runs a restaurant. So. But there's a lot of being an entertainer and obviously in running a restaurant. So
Almost the same hours too.
certainly the same, oh no, a lot longer than the hours we work. Yeah.
So what got you into? You said you started playing music at the age of 16 years old, or you started professionally, I should say, at the age of 16.
Yeah, by 16, I was being paid. Really, by 17, I was being paid to make music, and paid at a level that it uh, that I was able. It financed me. It was good. Yeah, and you know when you do something that you like to do, and somebody gives you money, and attractive, bright people want to be around you. Trust me, you keep doing it.
Absolutely, and you've had a very successful career doing it, and you are also teaching. You're teaching up and comers as well.
Well, I've taught for 30 years. I've taught at the Berklee College of Music in Boston, and at 70, I'm probably moving a little. I'm doing less teaching now.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I notice as a teacher is that my um, uh, I there's so much distance between me and a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old at this point that I have information for them, but it's not as current as they like. I mean, I wasn't current when I was current, so certainly um, adding 50 years to that is, you know, it
Yeah.
it puts me in a pretty old space.
Yeah, I suppose, but I personally think, as far as performance goes and how to interact with your audience, I've learned more from the handful of shows that I've done with you than anything else.
Well, again, I really have uh, very good information for people who I would consider in a postgraduate state, which would certainly include you. A sharp, trained, honed professional who knows a great deal, and you can watch me, who is performing um, your life, but 20, 25 years further along. No, the gulf between you and I, for you, there's good information. For a 19-year-old, yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to have a graduate student in the class to help translate. That's all.
I actually I want to talk to you a little bit more about that, and your I love your what's the word I'm looking for? Your um I love your explanation of why we need gatekeepers to come back in the music industry. But I don't want to talk about that yet, because I want to hear you sing a few songs first.
All right, well let me
But
see what.
I do want to show you what I have here.
Okay.
My bookshelf is just off frame, and I have
Ah, stage performance. The
yeah.
my book for my class that I wrote a decade or so ago. That's nice. Yeah. Let's see what we got.
I've read this book at least 4 times, I think, since you gave it to me.
Jerome Kern, Dorothy Fields writing the lyrics. Listen to this melody. Listen to how it tumbles and flows. Oh, this is the good stuff. Nothing's impossible like I found, but when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, I dust myself off, start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip, be thankful for the present trip. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off, start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is done. You may be sick and tired, but in the end you've won. Do you remember the women and the men who would have the fall to rise again? They picked themselves up and they dust themselves off, and they start all over again. And they start all over again.
Beautiful.
That Jerome Kern, oh my God, how great is that? That's from I'm trying to remember the name of the movie, a Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers movie, mid-30s. Also had Someday when I'm awfully low and the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you, just the way you look tonight. Yeah, what are you going to do about friggin' Jerome Kern? Gosh, he was good.
You're a a student of the great songwriters, like the Great American Songbook.
Well, I don't feel that what happens is, for instance, as I was doing the Livingston Taylor show last week, I played that song by Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein from Carousel, Mr. Snow, and when they write this stuff, it's just that young seafaring, bold and daring, big bewhiskered, overbearing, darling Mr. Snow. I mean, God, this is good work. And so the other thing that I could say to your listeners who are interested in improving their playing is the great thing about studying pre 1960 songs is that the songwriters were very, very polished because they were having to write songs and deliver them to recording artists. And you couldn't have multi-track recording. Everything was being done at one time. There would be 70 players in the studio. So you had lots of individual people all doing their job properly. The multi-track recording ushered in the era of the singer-songwriter, because you could record the basic track, and then if you had the singer-songwriter, you could record them for a month or 2 months or a year or whatever you needed to get their part right. And that was something that never happened. So the level of polish of songs that were written in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s is really incredible. And the ones that have come to us today have been winnowed out. Like moving from one apartment to the other, there are certain things you carry with you, and the rest you just leave behind. And so they've carried forward these songs, and if they exist and you can get to them, they are very, very good.
Yeah. Another thing you do that I always really admire too is your guitar work. It's very precise, and it's very flowing, but it's also out of the way just enough, like, so the lyrics just stand out.
Well, again, if you've internalized rhythm, if the rhythm is here, then so then you can get if you can get the guitar playing out. If the guitar doesn't have to keep time, you can get the guitar playing away from your lyrics, and so that's enormously important.
I love it. It's beautiful, and that guitar is beautiful too while you're holding it.
Yes. Well, how you make I have friends who collect guitars, and they'll have 25, 30 guitars. And what I say is, you got 25 guitars, sell 24 of them and practice the one that's left if you want them to sound good. It really does require practice.
Absolutely. I'll say, out of all this COVID stuff, for me, I didn't write a lot of music, but I played a lot of guitar.
Yeah.
And I've gotten much better at playing the guitar. So that's a blessing out of all of this.
Oh, that's a blessing. No, you need for me to write, I need to be around people. I need to be able to watch that music land all the time. I don't write in a vacuum, and I don't write well in a vacuum.
How does Livingston Taylor write a song? Do you come up with the melody first, or a guitar part, or you also play piano?
Yeah, I do, and yeah, I come up with things, same as you. We come up with things that interest us, that pique our curiosity, and sometimes the spark is enough to turn into an actual fire, and that's always pleasant because there are plenty of sparks that can't find a dry field. Either the idea runs out of steam, or it's just not that interesting, or the melody is not that interesting, and uh, well, the other thing that prompts creativity, as you well know, is pending starvation. And so, yeah, you're right to be able to keep working. So,
Yeah. It's interesting that well, you just mentioned melody, and you talk about melody a lot, and I'm finding um, Danielle and I watch CBS Sunday morning all the
yeah,
time. We tape it because we're doing Coffee with Todd, but
yeah,
I'm finding a lot of the newer music that comes out, the melodies have been really uh, I don't want to say dumbed down, but they're much simpler. They're almost two or three notes.
yeah.
Um,
It seems, but it's important to remember that there was a lot of dumbed down, stupid contemporary music when we were younger and when our parents were younger. Dumbed down, uh, simplified music. What happens with contemporary music is it gets thrust upon us for other reasons. So if Taylor Swift releases a mediocre song, it's still Taylor Swift, and she has value as an image, as a brand, and so they're willing to expose us to one of her. She writes much fine stuff, but they're willing to expose us to something less good because she's got other components that we're interested in. Eventually, she'll her songs will flow in the same river of quality, and they will either float in that river and find a friendly bay, or they will sink and just be part of the debris on the bottom. And it's the case for all of us.
sure. Yeah, and when you started, video wasn't much of like image wasn't. You kind of heard the song before you saw the artist in a lot
Yes,
of
and that's a
cases.
very, very important part. In the late '80s, in the mid '80s, MTV came into the fore, and videos became a component of marketing music. Now, we had the midnight special before that. We had Saturday night. We had music shows, but to your point, they were just the artist singing the song that we had already heard. Once video became a component in the mid '80s, it was problematic. And it was problematic because if you had a detailed lyric, shooting that video became much more difficult and expensive. So indeed, obtuse lyrics were a help. They not only were they not a hindrance, they were a help to make the video image simpler. And yeah, my own sense is that people have simply forgotten how to write good melodies. The other thing I have to touch on that point you mentioned earlier, Todd, where to have our gatekeepers lost meant
Yeah.
that these logarithmic approaches just take a simplified you and they send you the same junk that you were already listening to, as opposed to a great gatekeeper who takes a song that's out of your comfort zone, rams it down your throat, and says, "I'm going to play this for you until you understand that this is great, and you ought to be listening to it." And there is no logarithmic program that will do that. To lose those gatekeepers is very, very serious because essentially what you're already eating is what you already liked. And this makes Billy a dull boy.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard you talk about that. I'm kind of I like listening to podcasts when I go for a walk. And I was listening to some podcasts that you were on, and you were talking about the gatekeepers thing, and I never
Yeah,
really thought of it because I never really experienced that. Like I signed an indie deal in Nashville back in like
yeah,
2005, and by then the record industry had completely flipped around, and there were
it,
really
it was basically, yeah. Steve Jobs took it all. He put it on a square this size, right there, a little square. He
yeah
took it all. He put it on this chip, and took all the revenue, not the revenue that was going to artists, revenue that was going to gatekeepers, the revenue that was keeping that miserable SOB who was telling you what to listen to and what was good and what wasn't, and ramming it down your throat, keeping that person alive. And
yeah
once you took away their revenue, they were gone. And at first, we loved the fact that those sons of bitches were finally out of there. But now, who's left to lead us?
yeah
Uh, Apple? I think not.
no. You do this analogy where you tell your students that like you can you can write a song right now, and you can record it, and then you can put it out on the internet, all within 3 hours to billions of people. And it wasn't like that back in the day, but I love that analogy.
Well, again, there were gatekeepers. A recording studio. If you and I wrote a song and wanted to record it, we had to go to a recording studio, and there was going to be a gatekeeper there that said, "Let me hear what you've got before I let you into my $250,000 recording studio." And we'd play it, and if they didn't like it, they'd go, "You can't come in here. Be better. Go away." And now anybody can record anything at any time, and um, you, as I'm fond of joking, you get it to, you have access to 4 billion people, 7 people like it, and you actually think this has been impactful. No, no.
Yeah.
That notwithstanding, we'll work through this. This is all new. We'll find a way through this. We will reinvent gatekeepers, and we will be glad.
Yeah. So what kind of advice do you give to people that are trying to get noticed in this crazy gates wide open world?
Study songs from pre 1960 and learn how to play them in their totality. Uh, uh, get the original sheet music, learn the bridges, all the verses, all the chord changes, and copy that and let that genius seep into your own current stuff. And oh, you will be very powerful indeed. That's my advice.
That's good advice. I love
Yeah.
it. Can we I don't want to keep you all day, but can we have you sing a little bit more?
Yeah, let me do a last song and then I'll leave you alone. Let's do that lovely Pat Alger song, the one that makes me cry when he sings. I found your letter in my mailbox today. You were wondering if I was okay. And do I think of you? You know what they say. Once in a very blue moon, once in a very blue moon, just once in a very blue moon, and I feel one coming on soon. No need to tell me you'd like to be friends and help me get back on my feet again. And do I miss you now and then? Once in a very blue moon, once in a very blue moon, just once in a very blue moon, and I feel one coming on soon. There's a blue moon shining whenever I think of all we've been through. Such a blue moon shining, does it ever shine down on you? You act as though it didn't hurt you at all, that I'm the only one getting up from the fall. And do I love you? I only recall once in a very blue moon, once in a very blue moon, just once in a very blue moon, and I feel one coming on soon. Once in a very blue moon.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love that last verse. You act as though it didn't hurt you at all, that I'm the only one getting up from the fall. Do I still love you? I only recall once in a very blue moon, and I feel one coming on soon. No, that Pat Alger is he's a fine, fine little songwriter, that fella.
Oh, it's so good to hear. I'm actually I'm looking so forward to seeing you this summer. I'm going to your retreat. If you wanna plug that to my
Oh, great. I'd love
viewers.
to plug my retreat.
Yeah.
Let me see. What was the date on that retreat? Here it is, right here. Here's the date. Yeah, my retreat. Oh, it's in reverse, so I'll just. I don't. Oh, is this
We
right?
see it okay. It's right for us, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Masterclass August 7th at Endicott College, Beverly, Massachusetts. One day. And if you're going to be there, Todd, that'll be fantastic because you've got a lot of information that you can give as well. That'll be terrific.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm
All
definitely
right.
I'm definitely going to be there. I signed up as soon as I knew that it was on for good.
Oh, great. Excellent news. All right,
Can
my
I
friend.
can I ask you one more question before you run
Sure,
away?
sure.
I've always been curious about this. I know that you've been traveling your whole life, but I want to know where Livingston Taylor thinks is the most beautiful place on earth.
Well, I can tell you that when asked that, if somebody asks me in Columbus, Ohio, what the most beautiful place on earth is,
Yeah.
you travel to and play, I always look them clean in the eye and I go, Columbus, Ohio. So I'm very mindful to have the place that, because do not go on a date with one person and talk about another person on that date. So I'm always careful to be infatuated with where I am. That notwithstanding, if it's between you and I right now, there are I think the big island of Hawaii is pretty remarkable. Kauai in Hawaii is pretty remarkable. The Grand Canyon I've floated the Grand Canyon for 3 weeks, and that's on rafts, and that's pretty amazing. So there are some really remarkable places out there. That notwithstanding, what you really want to be looking for is the magic where you are right now.
Oh man, I've missed talking to you. I always enjoy having conversations with you. And
Well, I will hopefully see you before August, but I will see you in August at that retreat, August 7th. That would be great.
I hope so.
All right.
Where's that Livingston Taylor cup? We've got to do a cheers.
A cheers. I toast you, my friend.
Oh man. That was so much fun. Yay! Livingston Taylor, everybody. Yeah, check out his show every Tuesday at 4 o'clock on his Facebook page or YouTube. The Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. All right, let's spill coffee on myself one more time. Right, David? Oh, yep. Hey. Oh, hey. Not so bad that time. All right. So I'm not sure. I think I have a guest for next week, but we haven't officially confirmed it yet. So next week, it might just be me and you singing along some songs. That's not such a bad thing when that happens, now is it? No. I want to thank you guys for tuning in each and every week to Coffee with Todd. For one, it keeps me full, and it keeps me playing music, which I've been severely missing over the past many months of not being able to get out on the road and see you all in person. So it means a lot to me to be able to do this and to connect with you. I love it so much, and I can't wait to see your faces in person. That's going to be great as well. And it absolutely means the world to me that that you would tune in on your Sunday morning. It's your Sunday morning. It's your day to relax. And if you choose to have a cup of coffee with me and my guests, and it just means the world to me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I'll put up the little link here again. If you'd like to chip in and help keep the show rolling along, there is cost associated with this show. I'll just be completely up front with you. I mean, I would do the show anyway, just because I love it, but I do have to pay. I have to pay a service that shoots it out to YouTube and to Facebook and to Twitter and to Twitch and all those things, and that costs me about almost $50 a month, and there's the internet bill and all that stuff, and I probably spend about 3 or 4 hours a week, believe it or not, getting ready for the show, even though it seems like I'm never ready for anything. But yeah, there's a lot of work, time involved, and if you can chip in a couple bucks, thank you so much. And if you're not in the position to do so, believe me, I get that. It just means the world to me that you're watching. So thank you, everybody that's donated. Thank you to everybody that's watched. Thank you to all my guests. Oh, I'm so thankful this morning. So thankful. And we'll see you back in May. Can you believe it? I can't believe it's going to be May already. All right, one more song, and then Danielle and I are going to go make some breakfast. I see trees of green, red roses too. Well, I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, I see clouds of white, bright blessed days and dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. And I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. Well, they'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was such a fun show. Oh my God. How am I going to top this one? That might be the pinnacle. That might just be the show. The show that ends the show. But it won't. I'll be back next week. I absolutely promise. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, and great week. Be kind to everybody that you meet. You never know what they're going through. And of course, be safe, be well, and buckle up. What's holding you back? If you don't get that joke, you're going to have to go back to the beginning of the show and watch it once it's done. You'll figure it out. All right, folks. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to my guest, Livingston Taylor. I love you guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next Sunday. Cheers, everybody.